Ben Watson and Paddy McKenzie are a talented combo at 9 and 10, while captain Shane Farah always gives 110% from the centre. A player of the match performance in the last round from Frank Reynolds earns his start today on the wing. So two teams, one apiece this season. Wicklow won the first game in September. Carlow beat Wicklow in February 21-0, probably Wicklow's worst performance of the year. So two evenly matched sides.
Two very evenly matched teams, Kieran, and it's one of those two teams is going to get to the final to play a tie. And for Carlow, it's hard to believe it's 1997 since their halcyon days, the last of their 5 titles in the 90s, and they lead the Roll of Honour with 12 wins, 12 Towns Cup wins, and Wicklow have one win. They won it in 2016 when they beat Enniscorthy, and they lost the final to Enniscorthy 3 years later in Navan.
Enniscorthy went up to the AIL that year as well.
That's right, yeah. So so it's the last time Carlow were in the final was in 2002 when their second team got well beaten by Kilkenny in North Kildare. So it's been some time since County Carlow, with their pedigree in the competition, have been to the final. So they'll be really up for it. As you said, they were very close last year. Wicklow, I saw Wicklow in the last round. They had a good win against Wexford. Carlow, unfortunately, yesterday their relegation back to Division 1B was confirmed when Tullamore got relegated from the All-Ireland League. So they'll be trying to get something out of their season this year. But very evenly matched contest on paper, and let's hope it turns out as good as, or half as good as, the first game.
Athy are in the final, but who will they face? Will it be Dan Van Ziel's Wicklow, or will it be Carlow? Wicklow just coming out to applause. Waiting for Carlow now.
Well, we've both teams out, but I don't see the referee. So Ian Thompson, who was the referee, doesn't appear to be here yet. He's
keeping them waiting.
Yeah, he's been assisted by Clive Wardrop today and Keith Spendlove, but they haven't emerged yet from the dressing room, although I see one of the sideline officials. Here they come now, so we're all right, we're going to have a game.
That's the main thing. There's trouble in the press box today. The legendary Mick Quinn is on radio commentary for KCLR.
And of course we have a revived kick-off time of 4:15, so we still have a minute to go on that time yet. So maybe that's why the referee is not rushing out. So just waiting for the 4:15 kick-off.
He's still finishing the banana.
He's here now. So looking at his watch. So.
And it will be Ben Crotty to get us underway. And we're underway here for the second of our semi-finals. Athy are in it, but who's going to join them? Carlow or Wicklow? Paddy McKenzie with his first touch. Under a bit of pressure early on here, Wicklow might need to clear their lines. Ben Watson just getting organised. That's a good touch finder from the scrum half at the box kick.
Yeah, Wicklow under a little bit of pressure there from the kick-off. The ball went loose inside the 22, but they managed to scramble and reset their ruck, and the ball is cleared to touch. So Carlow with the first line out on the far side, inside the Wicklow 22. Or sorry, inside the Wicklow 10-metre line.
Scott Neal with the throw. Finds his number 8. Connor Tracy. The inside centre gets involved. Quinlan. Shirley with the carry, or John Lyons I should say. Tracy comes in on the short line, but they go around the back. Kaylin Fitzhenry's dealt with. Tracy again, looking for work earlier on. The captain Lyons. Broderick. The fullback Crotty. His brother at scrum half. McElligott does well to keep that. Gets an extra couple of metres. Broderick pokes it in behind. Brian Johnston has it. Scored that crucial try against Kilkenny in the second round that kept Wicklow's hopes alive. And Paddy McKenzie swings the boot. Where's it going to land? It's going to go into touch, and Carlow will have the throw in. Just teasing each other out at the moment. Yeah, you're very much feeling each other out, yeah. So Carlow had a few recycles there. They really didn't go anywhere. McElligott put in a kick, and it's now being cleared to touch by Wicklow. And have we an injury stoppage? No, we haven't. No, it's all set to go. Tracy. Good take. They go to the maul. Wicklow do a good job of slowing it down. Broderick. This is really good play early on. The fullback hits his stride and it gets to the left winger, and that's an early score for Carlow. Jamie McCabe with the early try puts Carlow on the front foot, and they race into a 5-0 lead here. Yeah, it was a lovely break by Carlow. I'm not sure who made the break. I think it was Sean Quinlan, was it, who made the break in the centre? But it was fed out to Jamie McCabe, and he went round his man, scored just inside the left-hand corner, and we now have a conversion attempt from Ben Crotty. So early scores in the previous game, an early score here again today, Kieran, in the second game. Both teams awake. But Carlow needed to come out of the traps quickly. They lost their relegation promotion playoff game last week against Wexford. They would have been gutted about that, but a brilliant start here today. Yeah, it was actually Jonathan Crossley, the right winger, who made the insertion and got as far as the 22, and he passed it to his fellow winger, Jamie McCabe, and there's an excellent kick. Ben Crotty, good from the tee, 7-0 to score. And the dream start for Carlow. Oh, fantastic start. I mean, 7-0 up inside the 5 minutes, and let's see how Wicklow respond to that. Wicklow went behind in both their previous games against Kilkenny and Wexford, so they're not unfamiliar with that sort of task. Yeah, and they finished very strongly against Wexford. As I said, I was at that game, and yeah, very early. Quinlan takes it in. Wicklow have to make their tackles early on here. Crotty getting things organised. Goes to the box kick. Johnston gives it to Watson. Often in the backfield. And he's a hot stepper. Makes some ground. Farah, the captain. McKenzie takes it to the line to Cian Reynolds. They're not really going anywhere at the moment, Wicklow. So Watson goes back to the air. But Wicklow have got hands on here. They go left, Farah to Johnston. He stretches the legs. Look at the youngster go. Still only 18 years old, Frankie Reynolds. But he loses it. And Crotty will get rid of it here. Mackenzie trying to plot his way out of trouble. Former Irish under-19. Very slow ball coming back for Wicklow at the moment. And it's all about the kicking at the moment. The territory game, but crossing, and Wicklow get handed the penalty.
Yeah, there's not a lot happening right now. As you say, a lot of kicking. Some of it not great, but Wicklow have done well to get a penalty. I suppose their kicking, in my opinion, has been slightly better than the Carlow kicking, but their reward is a penalty, and they should find touch in or around the 22. And a good attacking position for them.
Ben Watson knocks it into the 22. His dad Jason is the director of rugby in Wicklow Rugby Club, and his other brother Josh is on the right wing for Wicklow today.
Family affair again.
Can David Nicholson find his target at the line out? Yes, he can. Dylan Byrne takes it down. And they go to the maul. Nicholson at the back. Slowly moving forward, but they take it out on the switch to Farah. To Mackenzie. They're lining up. They want to respond. They want to throw a jab. DeWalt Bernard, formerly a Terranure, played in an AIL final. They go down that short side again. Richards, but he loses it. At a crucial time for Wicklow, when they looked like they were making inroads.
Yeah, good defence by County Carlow to hold Wicklow at bay. It certainly looked like a good attack, and the big man, Max Richards, made good ground, but unfortunately for him, he spilt the ball in contact, and now I think we have the first scrum of the game. And it's going to be a Carlow put in on their own 5 metre line.
Max Richards got 2 yellow cards in that game against Wexford. Looks like Cian Reynolds is standing in at scrum half. And Ben Watson has shifted to the wing. Maybe this is just for this scrum. A positional switch. Wicklow try and get the pressure on, but there's going to be a reset. Interesting, this Dermot, that Cian Reynolds is standing in that scrum half, but Ben Watson hasn't gone off. He's just standing on that far wing.
See that, yeah. So it's interesting. It's obviously a ply they've designed. Let's see how they get on.
A tactical move from the Dan Van Zyl playbook. But Crotty happy to get rid of it. Doesn't get much on it though. And no. Wicklow still where they'd want to be.
They're almost back where they started. Just a line out just inside the 22. See can they fare any better here, trailing 7 points to 0.
David Nicholson, his father Bert, a former president of Wicklow Rugby Club.
Yes, I saw him beforehand, had a quick word with him.
And the throw is good. And Wicklow are on the attack. Farah. Bernard, the South African, flings it out. Risky, but Wicklow still have possession. Ben Watson goes himself. Short axis scrum half. Just inside the 22 now, Wicklow. Carlow's defence doing well, making their tackles. Paddy McKenzie. Lovely switch ball to Josh Watson. Patient rugby from Wicklow. Nicholson again. Brian Short out the back. McKenzie. Here's Frank Reynolds. Pops it off to Richards. But Carlow might have hands on, illegally so. And straight out in front of the post. It's a simple 3 if they wanted.
Yeah, good attack by Wicklow. They probed both left and right. They got a good go forward from, I think it was McKenzie, wasn't it? And they walked the ball over to the right. And Carlow, in their zeal to get hands on the ball, did so illegally. And it's going to be a shot at goal for Wicklow, seeking they narrow the score.
And Johnston, another schoolboy, goes to East Glendalough School in Wicklow Town. Only made his debut for the senior team in 2025.
So a good crowd again here for the second game, Kieran. Lovely day here in Kildare.
And our voices are just about holding up.
Just about.
Simple as you like for Johnston. And a 4-point game, 7-3 the score.
Yeah, nice easy opener for Johnson to start his kicking today, and makes the score 7-3, and we've played maybe about 14 minutes or so.
And you hear that historic roar that we hear all over the Leinster League of "Come on, Carlow!" You can hear it here. If Carlow are playing, that sound soon follows. Watson gets it off the park.
So it's certainly a much, what would I say, lower key affair than the previous game, which opened at a rate of knots. This one
more of a chess match.
More a gentle feeding in process.
That's a nice way to say it's boring there.
I'm not saying that. Definitely not boring.
That's an overthrow, and David Nicholson is all over it, but Brown tries to get it back in the counter ruck. McKenzie doesn't find touch. Crotty will engage in the kick tennis. McKenzie deciding what he's going to do. Jamie McCabe, the try scorer. Maybe a bit too much on that one. But luckily for him, it just stops. And Ben Watson tricking around. Maybe not the right option there.
Wicklow still have possession, so yeah, let's see what happens.
But Carlow are very active in around that breakdown. And Watson, for probably the 7th or 8th time today.
Yeah, it was an interesting decision not to take the goal line dropout, but yeah, we now have a line out to Carlow, 15 metres inside.
But you see that
Wicklow
nowadays.
Territory.
A goal line dropout, you're almost losing the ball. It's not a good thing for the defending team, really. It invites the pressure back on.
Yeah, but you can still put the ball out around the halfway line, so it's a long way. It's a long way for the attacking team to go.
And the captain lines ever reliable. The quick transition to Tracy, but we're gonna have another line out this time for Wicklow.
So it's very much stalemate at the moment. Anything you can do, we can do better, sort of thing.
Yeah.
You kick the ball.
You move
50
your
yards.
pawn. Yeah. You move your pawn this way, we'll move it that way. We'll match your move. Mackenzie, so assured the out half. Came back to Wicklow from Old Wesley a couple of seasons ago. Ben Watson not happy with how that ball's coming back to him. Richards goes to ground. Mark Cullen. But their attack just not firing on all cylinders at the minute, Wicklow, forcing them to go to the kick every time. Josh Watson. There looked like a knock on in there, but the referee says play on. Thompson. And it could be on here for Wicklow if they can move it quickly. Cian Reynolds with the wrong option there, he kicks it, but Wicklow still have the ball, but panic and they throw it away.
Yeah, I thought there might have been a knock on there. Referee said play on. He's the man that counts. But Wicklow, despite getting what looked like good possession, they weren't able to really advance the ball. So we're back with a line out.
And you can see Conal Slater sitting down there, actually from Carlow, but plays his rugby in Wicklow now. Unavailable today because of concussion. And again, more trouble at the line out for Carlow.
2 in a row they've lost. First was an overthrow. That was probably slightly overthrown as well. It came off the tips of the fingers of the Carlow line out jumper.
The first game was rugby for the casuals, and this is rugby for the purists.
I think that probably sums it up. Yeah. The first game was just scintillating. It was end-to-end stuff, ebbs and flows all the way. This is very much a fading out process at the moment. Neither side getting any advantage.
And a little bit of messing at that scrum. The free kick goes the way of Carlow. Into the number 8, Brian Short. Wicklow try and move it. Josh Watson runs out of room, but he does well to keep it in play. And another penalty. Carlow are racking up that penalty count at the minute.
Yeah, they're getting no joy at the breakdown. They are definitely competing at the breakdown. They're giving away a few penalties at the breakdown.
And sometimes that's a bad picture to paint in the referee's head early on.
It is, yeah, although I see the referee indicating a high tackle there rather than a breakdown offence.
Ben Watson went to St. Gerard's School.
School that produced Jack Conan, current Leinster, Irish and Lions player.
Cormac Foley as well. I think he was the same year as Ben, actually.
On the Leinster books, but there's a good competition there at scrum half in Leinster, isn't there?
Finton Gunn, Ollie Coffey. And they had to let Ben Murphy go last season, and look what he's doing in Connacht. A breakthrough year for him. Watson gets plenty on that. Nicholson hits Dylan Byrne at the top of the tree. Wicklow growing into this game. putting the phases together, or trying to. As I say that, the commentator's curse.
That's exactly what I thought. As soon as he knocked it on, Kieran, the commentator's curse. But yeah, Wicklow do seem to be gradually growing into the game. But so far they've only 3 points reward for their endeavours. We have played, I would say, a little over 25 minutes, maybe. No, sorry, tell a lie, about 22 minutes.
Crotty feeds. Ben Watson thought he was away, but he's told, hold your horses, you've given away the penalty.
Yeah, legally batting down the ball, so yeah, it looked too good to be true. And
when something is too good to be true, it usually is.
It normally is, yeah.
That's what my old fella says. Tries galore in the first game, but it looks like this could be a tight affair with scores at a premium.
More in line with old-fashioned Towns Cup ties.
Lions. And McGilligan came steaming onto that ball. And Liam Gaffney's not happy. He doesn't feel like it was a high tackle.
The ref was very quick to blow his whistle, and he is taking his time before he decides what he's going to do. But the player was definitely standing up, the Wicklow player who made the tackle.
And it's just a penalty. And Crotty will look to cancel out that Wicklow penalty.
It was certainly a hell of a collision. We could feel it up here in the press box. And the ref blew it immediately, and he was well positioned. So
and about 38 meters out, maybe.
About that, yeah, just inside the 10, so that would seem about right.
But Crotty pulls it, and Wicklow are off the hook.
Yeah, normally very accurate kicker. He just pulled that a wee bit.
Carlow with that 21-0 win a couple of months ago. Did it do any psychological damage to Wicklow? Crotty tries to get it into that corner, but it goes the wrong side of the flag.
So scrum back.
Fine margins, those sort of kicks.
Yeah, if it works out, it's a brilliant kick. If it goes the wrong side, well, not quite so good.
It's a game that's struggling to flow at the minute. Very stop-start.
Yeah, very much so. Needs something to ignite us.
Scrum just short of halfway. Mackenzie. Josh Watson. But again, he's bundled into touch. Scott Neal will throw this one in.
I think he must be happy to be over this side. There's no banging of the hoardings like there is over the far side for his last couple of lineouts.
Tracy tidies up. Crotty puts boot the ball. And again, it has plenty of legs on it, but too much legs.
Ooh.
And deja vu there for Carlow.
Yeah, there's a lot of unforced errors at the moment. There's no great flow to it. There's no multi-phase play like there was in the previous game. There's no exciting darts by wingers or breaks by number 8s or anything like that, I'm afraid.
Watson with the feed. But we'll have a reset.
Ian Thompson not happy with the scrum going up, so he's ordered a reset. I thought maybe he could have played on. The ball was at the back of the Wicklow scrum. I thought at the number 8's feet. I thought maybe he could have just let them play on, but he's decided otherwise. So another put in for Wicklow.
All line into the left. Watson with the feed. Mackenzie gets the back line going. Shane Farrah. Here's Frank Reynolds. But the Carlow defence scramble across well. Mackenzie straight to the line. And Tracy throws the hand at it. But the referee saying just a knock on.
Yeah, Tracy looked like he had a shot at intercepting that. Came off his hand and he dived forward to see could he gather it, but it was just inches away from him. And we have another scrum, another Wicklow scrum.
Are the Atai boys still around, you wonder?
Oh, I'm sure they're here. I'm sure there was a beer or two in the dressing room after they went in. I was over the far side when they were walking back in, and they got rapturous applause from their supporters.
Rightly so.
And yeah, I'm sure they're out now watching this game and see who they're playing the final and see can they take anything from it.
And the free kick goes the way of Wicklow. Watson wasting no time. Shane Farrah up the middle. Mackenzie, lovely rugby. Johnston rolls into the 22. Here's Nicholson, always active. Josh Watson on the short line. Mackenzie, will he go himself? He darts. They can smell the try, but David Nicholson has spilt it forward. And Wicklow thought that was their moment.
I thought it was their moment. I was sure that was it. That was a well-worked move by Wicklow. They worked it well, and unfortunately Nicholson knocked it on when it looked sure he was going to score.
Paddy Mackenzie's influence in that attack. He was engineering it all.
He was superb. He even had to cut himself and got inside the 5, and then the ball came back to Dave Nicholson, and unfortunately for Wicklow and for Nicholson, he knocked on. So we have a 5-metre scrum, and Carlow relieved that the ball was knocked on. They maintained their 7-3 lead, and we have about maybe 8 minutes to half time.
But Wicklow are going to have to convert this pressure into points at some stage. And Carlow try and break away through their inside centre. And they get it away, but again, it's right on the edge.
Yeah, it wasn't a great kick. It was a good break by Sean Quinlan. He made a good 15 metres or so, but the kick only went maybe another, well, max 10, probably 7 or 8. So still good position for Wicklow. Their line-out has been the more slick of the two line-outs so far.
Sam Porter takes it well. And they get it to Witt, to Reynolds. Farah, such a hard man to stop. Mackenzie doing everything he can, and here's Porter. Ben Watson maybe waiting for a penalty. He's not happy with something. They go left. Reynolds, Shane Farah, just inside the touchline. Short out the back. Nicholson is lined up. Bernard on that short line. Has to reach for it. And Porter loses ground. He's drilled back by Crotty.
That was very good by Ben Crotty. I mean, talk about little man on large man. He drove him back
David
a good
versus Goliath.
Yeah, drove him back a good 10 metres. So Wicklow have all the pressure for the last 10 or 15 minutes. You think they need to get something out of it now at this stage.
But they always say Towns Cup is different gravy. It's like nothing else. It's never straightforward. It's never easy.
Well, definitely never easy. Yeah, you're right. Never straightforward. And both of these teams, clubs, trying to restore some of their glory days. Carlow, as I said, going back to their great team of the 90s that won 5 Towns Cups. Oh, we have a penalty. Okay, sorry, Albert.
Johnston will try and make it a 1-point game.
Okay, I thought the referee had blown it up for an injury. He never gave any indication that he was given a penalty, but he has. And Johnston has a chance to narrow the gap to a point as we get closer to the half-time break.
Still only 18, but such a reliable boot.
It's an easy kick from her. You would consider it an easy kick, of course. There's still pressure on him.
Scoreboard pressure, a 1-point game.
As we approach half time, it's 7 points Carlow and 6 for Wicklow, and Wicklow will feel they got some reward for their period of pressure there.
But Carlow keeping their try line clean for the moment. Porter. But it's Carlow who get the penalty.
Yeah, Carlow have been threatening at turnovers for some time now, so they eventually get rewarded. And it's their number 19, Johnny Murphy, who was responsible for that turnover. And I see Brian Broderick is going up the line, so they've turned down the 3 points to restore their 4-point lead.
And their forwards are licking their lips at this platform. The captain collects it, brings it down. Wicklow trying to make things difficult. And that's great defence from Wicklow at the maul.
Yeah, terrific defence, because the lineup was won by John Lyons, the captain. They set them all. They looked like they were all set to drive it over the line, or at least go a long way towards the line. However, that was stoic defence by the Wicklow maul, and they're rewarded with a scrum, a defensive scrum, as we, I think we're within the last minute or two, maybe 2 minutes to half time, and well, I see the referee and the touch judge having a chat, so I'm not sure if there's something askew. No, still the scrum, so it's turnover scrum, so it's still Wicklow's chance to clear their lines. A couple of minutes to half time, and hopefully, and maybe there might be a minute or two added on for injuries, but still a 7-6 scoreline. Low scoring, and very much anybody's game at this stage.
Watson's a proper scrum half. He's a little bit narky at times. And Carlow pile the pressure on. But thankfully for Wicklow, the penalty goes their way.
The referee's indicating driving across in the front row. He was right beside it. He's very clear in his decision, and it's a leaving penalty now for Wicklow.
Possession stats probably read 70-30 Wicklow.
Yeah, but they had a lot of possession before they got that last penalty, and certainly Carlow haven't threatened them. They've had very little possession since they scored their early try.
Short went with the clever switch. Wicklow will have the scrum. The referee just got no hay there.
Yeah, I think the referee got in the way, so that's why he's given a scrum. So as we trundle into injury time, it's a scrum for Wicklow, and I wonder can either side conjure up one score before we go to the half-time break.
But again, Carlow put the pressure on, but Wicklow get it out. Reynolds to Mackenzie. But Carlow are all over that one. And it's the number 8, Tracy. Fingerprints all over it.
Yeah, so that's 2 penalties in a row they've won at the breakdown. Now, what's the decision? Is it go for the post and try and increase their lead before half-time? They got thwarted the last time at the line-out, and that's indeed what they're doing. So it's Ben Crotty's chance to increase the lead. It's a 1-point lead now. Can they increase it to 4 before they go into the half-time break? And of course, what's great about these kicks is the silence. That
silence is golden.
Yeah, Silence on the ground. Everybody just goes shh.
But again, Crotty goes left and it's wide. And that brings with it the half-time whistle. Or no, there's one more play.
No, I think he's blown for half-time. He's blown for half-time, yeah, so it's half-time. Go it over your shoulder. With that. Is that out?
Yeah. And we're back for the second half here. 7-6 to score. Wicklow trailing by 1 point. Carlow in the lead.
Good clearance by Carlow off the kickoff, and play is brought out into the Wicklow half, and they have a line out inside their own half. But we're just saying there off air, while it might be the greatest game in the world, neither side will care how good or how bad they play once they get to the final.
Once they're in Nace on the 27th of April. Here's Gaffney. Watson, smart ball in behind. Crotty opens up. Gaffney making things messy. Jamie McCabe with the only try in this game for Carlow. But Bernard does really well to get the intercept. Gets himself in the passing channel. But Wicklow struggling to get to ground. They eventually do. But the counter ruck is strong, but it's a penalty to Wicklow, and Bernard wants to go. But come back here, says the referee. And Wicklow have a chance to go into the corner.
I think Carlow were a bit unfortunate there. It was a penalty. The player went off his feet, but 3 players had driven Wicklow back, and the ball was emerging on the County Carlow side, but one of the players went to ground. The first guy in went to ground, so the referee quite correctly penalised him.
And Ben Watson launches it into the corner. And can Wicklow execute from here in the red zone? Red zone efficiency is key.
So we've a player getting treated for injuries. Wes Shirley's getting treated, but he's back on his feet and heading to the line out to take his place at the Carlow line out. The throw-in will be to Wicklow, and it's just inside the 22.
And Wicklow goes short at the line out. Watson is alert. But Carlow were even more alert, and they get the penalty.
Yeah, they're starting to rack up the turnover penalties now. Even though the last one they gave away, they were a bit unfortunate, but that time when the player made the break through the gap, Carlow were alert, and they were there first. The player got isolated, and they were there to affect the turnover.
And they're getting on top in the physicality stakes. Good take from Brown, Australian. It's all about the hits this game. And Broderick struggles. It's blocked down. Wicklow keep the man up. But Carlow get to ground. Here's the captain Lyons climbing for the meters. Crotty with the box kick. And Johnston gets smashed. Watson just getting organised. He puts it high into the sky. And there's the knock on. We're back to the chessboard.
I see Brian Johnson down in one knee. He has to be shook after that hit because as he gathered the ball, it came to land on the ground. He was hit by, I think, maybe 2 Carlow players. Perfectly legal, but what Johnson did then was he managed to hold on to the ball and feed it back, and Wicklow were able to clear their lines. Well, I say he's back up on his feet now, so he's probably just a little winded.
The hit was on the money.
It certainly was.
It was on the border.
So this is a good platform for Wicklow. Scrum on the halfway line, lined up on this side.
Watson, McKenzie, Reynolds. This is better from Wicklow. Farah switches inside to Watson. But again, Carlow putting that pressure on at the breakdown. Reynolds kicks it forward. And that's a good tackle and good pressure from Reynolds on the chase. And Wicklow get the penalty, and Frank Reynolds.
There was great pressure by Wicklow. It was good play off the scrum. Again, McKenzie and Farrar combined to put Wicklow inside the 22, and then there was good pressure put on Carlow when they got the ball. But now it's a line out to Wicklow, and they're knocking on the door. Can they get over?
If Wicklow could get a score here, it could be crucial. But the line out isn't good. And Carlow snatch it. Reynolds will run it back. McKenzie. He's the man that can make it happen for Wicklow. Farah goes cross field, but it's going into touch, and it's a good touch finder from the captain.
It was a good kick because his winger was running onto it, Josh Watson, and if the ball had bounced kind of for him, the Carlow man was turning his back, was turned around, so he was under pressure. So I'm sure Carlow would like to see that go into touch rather than bounce into Josh Watson's hands.
But for all the pressure that they've had to endure, Carlow will be pretty happy that they're still in the lead.
No, they've defended very well. I mean, they turned over that line out, and in fairness, up until then, Wicklow's line out had been the better of the two. But when the big moment came, Carlow were able to turn it over and clear their lines. And here they go again with the line out deep inside round 22.
Shirley didn't get properly up there, but he didn't need to. Still going forward. Wicklow try their best to get hands on. Carlow will provide the exit. But they can't get out of their own backyard at the minute.
Yeah, they'll be happy enough, I suppose, to get it 10 yards outside the 22, but they're still under pressure. And Wicklow still maintain that good field position, like we're sort of since the second half started. It's more or less all Wicklow again, so they do need to score, you would feel. The reward for all their pressure should be to get their noses in front.
That's a great take at the line out from Porter, but as I say that, the curse strikes again.
He's indicating a knock on. I'm like you, I thought it was a great take, but the referee again was right beside it and he said knock on, so it's a scrum to Carlow, and unfortunately for Wicklow it's another mistake.
Ben Watson telling his players to be ready for the kick. Crotty with the feed. Tracy. Crotty. Will this sit up? It does for Josh Watson. But Tracy leading the charge. They try with the counter ruck, but Wicklow do well to keep it. But that one's fired out to nobody. And Paddy McKenzie under all sorts of pressure. And Crotty will run it back. And it's Carlow who get the penalty. Crotty wants to go. And again, Wicklow can't convert in the 22.
No, and they could be punished here now if Crotty can slot this penalty. It's a long way to go. And he missed 2 in the first half, so this is about 43, 44 metres out. Maybe even 45 metres out.
Ben Crotty's dad, Tom, is the team manager for Carlow.
Crotty is a name you associate with Carlow down through the years. So,
and he played on DCU's college winning team a couple of weeks ago.
So here's lining this one up. I mean, if he can nudge this between the posts and open up a 4-point gap after all Wicklow's pressure, it'll be a bit of a blow for the Garden County men.
But Crotty, for the third time, pulls it left.
3 misses for Ben Crotty, who's normally much better off the tee than that. That's a let off for Wicklow.
And could those misses be the difference in the end? And there's a knock on, and things go from bad to worse for Carlow.
Yeah, definitely very much an unforced error. It was a very unsympathetic pass. The winger, Jonathan Crossley, knocked it on, and now Wicklow find themselves in good field position again. Attacking scrum on the Carlow 10-metre line, and the Wicklow scrum has been rock solid so far. So
and Wicklow just hanging in there at the moment.
You feel they need a score soon to get their noses in front. There's ample reward for all the pressure they've had.
Watson. Ops left. Here's Johnston. Carlow do really well to get him to ground, and it's a steal from Crosley. And again, Wicklow sloppy in possession. And Crotty gets plenty of distance on that one. Here's Scott Fitzpatrick. He's a flyer. And there's a high tackle there. He was heading to ground, but the arm went over the neck.
Yeah, I think he was very fortunate because when he gathered the ball, he was hit immediately, and then he regathered his feet, and somehow he managed to stay alive. And next time he was tackled, it was high. He was definitely going to the ground, but.
And Scott Fitzpatrick had terrible problems with injury this year, so great for Wicklow to have him back on the pitch.
He seems to be out here in the wing. Who did he replace?
Josh Watson, by the looks of things. Short, good. Here's Gaffney. Was on that 2016 winning team for Wicklow. But they've lost it again. Not looking after the ball at the minute, Wicklow. And Carlow have numbers here. And they're on the attack. And another penalty. David McDermott there.
Yeah, there was a great offload by Sean Quinlan, I think it was, to McDermott, and then McDermott was tackled, and the ball was illegally brought back on the Wicklow side. So, are we going with another shot at goal for Ben Crotty, or are they going down the line?
What would you do in this situation?
Well, I'd take the points. Tight game. I think, but. I wonder how his confidence is after missing 3.
That's the question.
So Dave McDermott getting a bit of treatment. It gives the Carlow think tank a chance to decide what to do here.
Decisions.
And I see Crotty after going way over the far side. So it looks like either a change of kicker or they're going down the line. So Ben Crotty is walking over to the far side. Brian Broderick is standing over the ball with the referee. We're waiting for a Wicklow player, Brian Short, who's getting treatment. So they haven't indicated yet what they're doing. The referee hasn't pointed to the post. They haven't given any indication. There's no T on the pitch. So decision is made. They're going down the line.
Broderick will kick it down the line. And if Carlow could get a try here in such a low scoring game, it could be enough.
It'll be massive, yeah, it'll be huge.
Larry McGrath, wearing number 17, wasn't even supposed to be playing today, but was drafted in last minute. Wicklow don't put anyone up, and this time it's Carlow who can't execute.
Right, so it's another malfunctioning line out at a big time. I mean, that was a chance for Carlow. I know they haven't had much possession in this half, but there was a chance there to put pressure on. So that's the second time they've turned down points. There was one so in the first half, just coming up to half time, they turned down points and went down the line and failed to make that count, and again turned down a shot at goal here and failed to gather the line out.
And Wicklow will look to get out of the danger zone here. But we'll have to go again. And would a tie be licking their lips looking at these two teams?
Well, yeah, I mean, their performance was so good in the first game that they won't fear anybody. That would really boost them. And they look at this and say, God, it's a terrible game. But that doesn't mean they'll run away with the final.
Watson to Mackenzie. He looks for touch, but he can't find it. Crotty. Johnny Murphy. Here's the centre, Quinlan. Or McDermott, rather. Carlow have another advantage. They're in the 22 now, or just on the edge of it. Crotty kicks it. But Cian Reynolds does really well to collect that one, but they have the penalty to come back to.
So we have another decision to be made. Will they turn this down and go down the line, or will they have a shot at goal?
It's a rock and a hard place at the minute.
Well, I suppose Crotty's kicking form hasn't been great. I mean, he's missed 3. I'm just looking to see. I see that Broderick has the ball in his hand. The last time he had the ball in his hand, he went down the line, and he's doing so again here.
So, second time of asking for Carlow, and a different corner this time, the left corner.
So you change it. Hooker for Carlow. Evan Gordon has just come on to replace Scott Neal. So he needs to be accurate with his first throw.
Dad Barry won a Towns Cup. Wicklow try and drag it down, but Carlow still have it. They're going. They're almost there. Lyons, the captain. They keep it short. And now the centre. But Wicklow's defence doing well at the moment. Brown. But now they spread it. Fitzpatrick has to make his tackle. And if Carlow could score here, it could be enough in this tight game. Crotty stepping, dancing. I think it's been knocked on. And it catapults out. And Paddy McKenzie gets rid of it.
That's a tremendous defensive stand by Wicklow. I mean, it just looked like it was only a matter of time before Carlow were going to bang home that try, but remarkable defence, and they ended up turning the ball over about 10 metres out from the goal line, and they cleared their lines. So well done, Wicklow, on that defensive stand.
John Lyons, I thought he was going to be the man to do it. Next score could win. Dermot.
Yeah. Will there be a next score?
Shirley with the take. Trey McGilligan. And they shifted quickly, Carlow. They have their tails up now. And that's really good from Carlow. If he can get it away, they might score here. Quinlan. But Wicklow's defence again. But Quinlan probably should have given that ball away. He should have given the pass, and Carlow might have scored in the right corner.
Yeah, the ball was knocked on. It was a great attack by Carlow, but unfortunately it's knocked on. Is it a goal line dropout? Actually, because it happened in goal, it's a goal line dropout. So Carlow should get possession somewhere around the halfway line. But again, yeah, great defence by Wicklow to hold Gordon up as he was going over the goal line. And as you say, possibly he should have released it earlier.
Watson. Crosley. Full speed. Hits a speed bump in short. Lyons, the captain. Carlow getting all the ball at the minute. They're absorbing the hits. Drop goal. Broderick. But luckily for him, Carlow still have the ball. Messy rugby all over the place at the moment.
Lots of mistakes, lots of errors, but that's the pressure of the Towns Cup. And after all that up and down, hurdy-gurdy, mistake after mistake, blocks, etc., we end up with a line out on the far side for Carlow on the halfway line. But it's frantic, it's unstructured, and I'm just wondering, will we get a score before the end? There's about, I reckon, about 15 minutes left, and yeah, will we get a score?
Carlow won't mind if there's not another score, because they'll head to the final anyway.
Of course, yeah, of course.
But for Wicklow, they need a score if they're going to make their first final since 2019.
That's it, yeah.
Fell at this exact hurdle last year, 24-22 against Ashburn in this exact location.
I'm sure it wasn't as nice a day then as it is today, weather-wise. I mean, it's a beautiful day, big crowd here. Two very, very competitive games. Different types of games, but very competitive.
Polar opposite games. Lions goes up for it. They go to the maul. But Wicklow fight back. And they'll have the scrum.
It's a collapse maul, turnover, scrum to Wicklow.
Just past the halfway line. 7-6. If you're late to get back to us for the second half, you haven't missed much.
Certainly missed no scores.
Farah goes himself. Gaffney, 33 years old now. And Wicklow get the penalty. Not sure what that was for.
It was handling on the ground. As the player went to ground, the player that tackled him handled it back, and you can't do that. So referee Ian Thompson awards the penalty.
Might just be outside Johnston's radar. But he's going for it. And this would put Wicklow into the lead. About 40 metres out.
Big kick. His first two kicks were straightforward. This is about, what, 42, 3 metres out, so yeah.
Nerves of steel from the 18-year-old Brian Johnston puts Wicklow into the lead.
So we waited a long time, but we've waited about 29 minutes or so into the second half, and we eventually get a score. Terrific kick from Brian Johnson, his third penalty goal, and that third penalty goal gives Wicklow a 9-7 lead. And as I say, there's a little over 10 minutes to go, about 11 minutes to go.
And Wicklow will have to put in at the line out.
That's a big break for them. So
about 10 minutes left, we're being told. In Towns Cup rugby, that can be a lifetime.
you can, yeah. And in a game where neither side has got his double digits.
It hasn't really caught fire this game.
No, but whoever wins won't care about that.
But Carlow get the steal at the line out. And the jersey's coming off and everything. McElligott. Broderick. Lyons. Shows and goes. Discipline is key for Wicklow. Brian Short trying his best. But Carlow still have. And they get it loose. And penalty advantage to Carlow. There was a hand in there.
So he indicated the penalty. Is he having a chat with the touch judge?
For a potential yellow card, maybe. And it's a penalty to Carlow.
There's no yellow card, is there? Don't think so. I didn't see yellow, so I presume there's not one.
It hasn't been the best day at the office for Crotty from the kick and tee. So Broderick will go down the line. Gordon has to hit his target. He has to work like a well-oiled machine here. Shirley goes up. Wicklow bring it down. Broderick on the switch. Carlow. Can they get a try? They come right. Lyons, the captain. Drop goal potentially here. Crotty can't get it out. And they're going to go for the drop goal. Broderick. But that's an attempt he'll want to forget. And Carlow get the penalty straight in front of the post, so they'll get back into the lead, you'd think.
Well, it's again, it's a reward for Carlow's work at the breakdown. The ball ricocheted around there like a pinball before Wicklow gathered it, and then they didn't release on the ground, and now Crotty has a chance to restore the lead that Carlow had held for such a long time. But he's missed three, but this is certainly the easiest of the four kicks, or the four penalty kicks. He has, of course, got a slot of the conversion. So can he get this with about 6 minutes to go?
That's better from Crotty. Carlow are back into the lead. 6 minutes to go, a 1 point game. What way is this going to go?
I don't know.
Watson puts it down their throat. And Carlow fired away.
Yeah, good clearance out to the 10-metre line, so Wicklow have to start all over again. They've only to get one score, so it's not like they're a long way behind, and just getting used. Toulouse are through to the quarter-final of the Investec Champions Cup. They've beaten Sale Sharks 38-15. They trailed 15-10 at half-time, so that's one of the big guns.
And they go short at the line-out, but wrong call. And Carlow get the free kick.
The free kick would indicate that they didn't go 5 metres. So what are Carlow going to do here? Up and under possibly?
Broderick, as you said, is going to stick it into the sky. Brian Short comes for that one, comes a long way. Wicklow have it all to do here. Shane Farah. Here's Gaffney. Drilling the legs. Mackenzie to Swan. Mackenzie decides to kick. Maybe not the right option. Crotty spots the space, but Johnson has it covered. And he does really well, the young fullback. And there's Mackenzie to Reynolds. Just past halfway. This is really heating up. This is Towns Cup rugby at its finest. And Wicklow have the penalty.
High tackle. Shane Farrer was decided to go one way, saw the route was blocked, turned back, and he was high tackled. So it's a penalty to Wicklow. They're outside of shooting range, no doubt, but it's going to go up the line, and it's a chance for Wicklow to get good field position. See will they get their line out working. And
Watson does well to get it into the 22.
Yeah, good kick on the 22, or just inside the 22. So is this last chance saloon for?
They can't afford another miscue at the line out. It's now or never.
Inside the final 3 minutes now. And while the game may not have been a fantastic contest, it's certainly competitive. And whoa, what a
steal from McElligott. And how important could that be? He read the move. And they get it away, and Wicklow will have another line out a bit further down.
It was like he knew the call, and he just went straight up and clutched it and came down. And that was a big line out win by Cormac McElligott, the blindside flanker for Carlow.
They can't afford any mistakes, Wicklow. Can Carlow keep them out? Tullow aren't going to be in the final, but can Carlow be?
Well, Carlow, they have their noses in front. They're defending well.
We're heading down the home straight.
Yeah, we're into the last couple of minutes. There's an injury delay, I think, is there? I see a water carrier on. We're ready to go again. Oh no, we're not, sorry. It's Liam Gaffney's got through just under 22.
Liam Gaffney's back up. He won't want to leave the pitch. Porter, Watson, Mackenzie. Here's Shane Farah. revs up the engine. Here's Porter. 1 point game. Mackenzie goes through a half gap. Bernard to Nicholson. Carlow might be on it, but it's a penalty to Wicklow. And Johnston will fancy this one.
That was a big call. Referee judged that the Carlow player who had hands on the ground before he had hands on the ball. From up here, it looked very close indeed. But the referee was right beside it. He made the call. Penalty for Wicklow, and we're gone into injury time. So a chance to get back in front at a crucial stage. I mean, you can't think there'll be a whole lot left on the clock after this. Maybe 2-3 minutes possibly, but that's about it.
Johnston been so good from the tee today.
He's been fantastic from the tee, yeah. Hard to believe he's a Leaving Cert student.
And can this put Wicklow in to a Towns Cup final? But Johnston has missed the kick to put Wicklow into the final.
First miss of the day.
Most crucial kick.
Came at a very unfortunate time. And we're gone about 2 minutes into injury time now. Carlow hanging on by a thread.
And that's really smart from Carlow. The quick kick. But Carlow just managing the clock out here. They kick it downfield. Brian Johnston. He might have lost the ball here. And he has. And that could be it for Carlow. That could put them in a Towns Cup final. Wesley Shirley.
Yeah, young Brian Johnson, he gathered the ball, brought it into contact, but he couldn't present it back quickly enough. And was it Wes Shirley who was there to effect the turnover? And Johnson was penalised for holding on. So it's a chance for Crotty. Probably confidence restored after kicking that last goal. Has a chance now to make it a 4-point game, and I make it over 3 minutes into injury time. If he gets this, even if he misses it, there can't be too much time left.
Crotty lines this one up. But he's missed it, and I don't know how long's left.
We can't have missed by a whole lot. I was watching the touch judges there. They were looking at it intently. I think it only grazed the outside of the post, but it missed. So we still have a one-score game, 10-9, deep into injury time.
Ben Watson has to kick it long. Carlow kick it back. And what a kick! What a moment!
He may have missed the penalty goal, but he certainly made that
50-22.
Yeah, fantastic kick by Ben Crotty.
A brilliant spiral.
Oh, it was a beauty. I mean, he eyed it up. He fielded the dropout, and it was on his mind immediately. You could see he was eyeing it up.
The line-out balls all over the place, but Carlow have it. Surely not long left. Surely Carlow are in the final. Just trying to kill the game, kill the clock. Wicklow coming in strong, trying their best. But it looks like they're going to fall at the semi-final hurdle yet again. Wicklow are screaming for a penalty, but it's not going to come. Lyons, the captain. But Wicklow get the penalty. And every time you think the game's dead, it comes up with one last breath.
Well, Wicklow certainly needed that, because they're deep in their own territory, where, by my reckon, we've a stoppage for treatment for an injury, but we really can't have much time left. What do you think, Kieran? Really must be nearly on that.
It has to be close to the end, all right. But we've said that a few times in the last couple of minutes.
That's true, and we said it in the previous game as well. So penalty to Wicklow. They need to get good field position here, then win the line out and see can they conjure up something.
A long way to go though for Wicklow. They're gonna have to go the length of the pitch, but that helps them. Brings them up to halfway or just short of it. Carlow and a tie. Looks like it'll be the Towns Cup final, but Wicklow have one last chance. Brian Short takes it down. And Carlow slow that ball right down. And Wicklow are on the back foot. Gaffney. Ben Watson maybe trying to milk a penalty there. Mackenzie to Watson. Still driving the legs, brings them to halfway. Short. Still going, wants to get to ground. Mackenzie. Here's Swan. Carlow just have to make their tackles, that'll be enough. No mistakes from Wicklow. They can't afford any. Mackenzie. He's the danger man, he's the talisman. Peter Smith. Still going Wicklow. Mackenzie. It goes forward, and that's that. Carlow are in the Towns Cup final. They'll play a tie, beating Wicklow by 1 point, the smallest of margins. 10-9 the score. Heartbreak for Wicklow, delight for Carlow. What about that?
Not the greatest game under the sun, but it certainly had a pulsating finish. It could have went either way at the end. We have Carlow versus a tie in the Towns Cup final. This day 3 weeks in the Ace Rugby Club. The last time they met in the final was in 1977 when in Carlow prevailed 9-6 after extra time. And the captain of a tie that day was the great Johnny Miller. So let's see what happens in 3 weeks' time.